Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.
The Power Hour.
In the words of the late great best of all time, the GOAT Lance Russell, yellow again, everybody. It's Randy Hales and Adam Dunn, right along control room, right around video side, all ready to go with another Power Pro Wrestling Watch Along, fired up. Hey, Scott's Art, I will be talking about your new book. I'll tease people with it. Scott's Art has a exciting comic book that he's put out. He will be with us a week from Tuesday on Power Pro Wrestling. And my man Jeff Frog Wheeler says, hello, gentlemen. How the hell are you? Crazy Gail, my buddy Crazy Gail could tell a lot of Crazy Gail stories in the house. Right, W. Robinson, he's in the house as well. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Greg, what is going on? Yellow, everybody. He says, Brooks from Mobile, Alabama now says hello. And let's see, Andrew Calvin Jr. says the owner, the founder, and the president. He's in Mississippi. Scott's Art is in Kentucky. Al Tuttle is in the Peachtree State of Georgia. Gail Brooks is in Memphis, Tennessee. Panetta over the pond. This is a worldwide audience. It's Panetta. Paniti Jatin is in Thailand over the pond. Appreciate that. Lester in the house. And of course, Greg is in the house. Gregory White is in the house. A lot of folks doing in. Coming together. Tanner is in the house. Man, Tanner, love hearing from him. Love hearing from everybody. We are going to start the show in a unique way, a different type of way. But the first thing we're going to do, I guess we're not going to start the show that. We're going to start the show as Greg Wayne is in the house. Greg Wayne is in the house. We're going to start the show with a preview from the guy I couldn't do this show or the Tuesday show without. He's the guy that not only co-hosts this show, not only is a master historian of Power Pro Wrestling. His dream job was to be in television production. My dream job was to be in the wrestling business, and I did that. So we have one guy, me, that the wrestling business guy that produced television, and Adam Dunn is a television producer, a television guy. He's my good friend, and he also is a big Power Pro Wrestling guy. And here he is to say hello to you guys. And here he is to preview this show before we take about 20 minutes out, and we are going to have class with RH. Here's Adam Dunn. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Randy, good evening, and hello, everybody, and welcome to it. We're going to be taking a look tonight, as far as Power Pro Wrestling goes, at episode 66 from July 1999. Randy will be in studio for an opening interview, and then we'll see the Memphis Mafia. They'll be around as well. Our first match will be sensational Steve Bradley going against Slick Robbie D. We'll see him in action. We'll have an interview with Kid Wicked, and then we'll have a interview with BSK, and we'll have Kurt Angle. He'll be going in action against the Black Sheep, Bobby Dahl. We'll see Bulldog Reigns in action against Reggie B. Fine. Reggie B. Fine back in action today. Then J.R. Smooth, Mick Tierney, and Glenn Kolka will be going against Wolfie D, Dangerous, Doug Gilbert, and the Dirty White Boy. And we'll get another interview to wrap things up with the Memphis Mafia. So a big Power Pro Wrestling show coming up here today, Randy.
Put Randy Dandy's message up there, Adam. Then you come back on, because I just put Adam over. I want to ask this, if this hurts his feeling. Put Randy West. Randy West says, hello, everybody. My buddy, the son-in-law of my mentor, Eddie Marlin, the husband of my sister, not by blood, but my sister, Diane West, my brother by a different mother, Randy West. Now, Adam, as my producer of my shows, I put Randy West over all the time. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All my crew, all the panel does, all my audience does.
Yeah.
But do you get, by the way, Frank Seaton is saying hello, not just to me, because Adam's as much of this show that I am. Says hello, Randy, and hello, Adam. So real quick, before I ask you a question,
Frank.
say hi to Frank and Randy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So good evening, Frank. Glad you're joining us. And as always pleased to have Randy West along with us as
Now,
well.
does it hurt your feelings every single week? It's every single week, either Michael St. John or myself put Randy West over as a innovator, as a brilliant wrestling producer that we wouldn't have been Memphis Wrestling without a doubt in the world. Does that hurt your feelings a little bit?
Well, not at all. I mean, how can it hurt my feelings when it's absolutely true? I mean, Memphis Wrestling, all the work that went into it, those music videos, everything that was done for the bicycle tapes and the interviews put into those and all the work that went into it. No, not not at all. Like I said, how can it be when it's 100%?
And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute, Adam, and I want you to pop in and out and help me with this conversation. But I want you to put Frank's question up there because I meant to lead off with this as he asked, Randy, how are your eyes? It was the 9th day of May where I went in because, to tell you the truth, everybody knows in the retirement part of my life, I know I look too young to retire, but in the retirement part of my life, I drive for a living. I do Uber and I do quite damn good. I'm really proud of myself because I like to drive, I like people, and I like money. It works out. About 3-4 weeks ago, I go to the eye doctor for a regular checkup, and he was doing the thing, and I thought it was an oddball question, and he says, Mr. Hales, see, that's pretty bad when the doctor calls you Mr. I bet that doesn't happen to you at all. And Randy is putting Adam over. Put that sucker up there. I'll put Adam over. He is a great producer. And what you do with the internet age and what it is now and computers and all that, Randy West is the first to say, and I'm sure he will agree with me, Randy West could not do what you do now. He would have to be given a crash course by you, Adam, and I think he could learn it because once you have it, you can evolve in what you do. Now, let me tell you the thing. I was talking to the doctor, and the doctor asked me, and I thought it was an oddball question. The doctor asked me when my driver's license expires. Remember, I make a living through driving. And he asked me that. And I said, not to December the 10th of 2024. He said, good. I said, what do you mean good? He said, we have time. I said, for what? He says, Mr. Hales, there's no way in hell if something's not done December of 2024, there's no way in hell you will pass a driver's test and you will not get driver's license ever again if you don't have that fixed. So that's pretty scary. I said, set it up. And so my worst eye was my right eye. So I got that done on May the 9th. I don't even know I've told you this, certainly, but right now, the right eye is by far my strong eye. Absolutely. My left eye, I have to wear glasses when I drive because the left eye, but he took the lens out of the right eye, if that makes sense, because that would make it real fuzzy. Right now in my right eye, even without glasses, because I don't have a lens for that, my vision is not 20/20, but almost, Adam. It's 20/25. It's doing great. I can see.
That's pretty good.
I can see better than I have for 50 years. It's amazing. So this coming Wednesday morning, Last time it was at 9:40 in the morning. They'll call me with the time tomorrow, but I will definitely have this left eye done tomorrow. I'm fired up about it. I'm excited about it. That absolutely 100% no glasses, and I'm sure I'm predicting if the right eye, since it's the cataract's off, is 2025. The left eye, with not near as powerful of a cataract atom, I think it will be 2020. Do you think that's too much to hope for?
No, I think you've got a pretty good shot at it, especially with how much success they've already had with that right eye. So no, I don't think that's a stretch, and I think that's going to be awesome. And already, as you pointed out last week on the show, the way Randy's set up there, Randy has a monitor in front of him, then he's got a larger monitor beside him. And Randy used to would have to kind of get close to the monitor to see what was going on, even with glasses. Now Randy's there just like me without glasses and can look and read and see everyone's comments. So I think that's fantastic. And then plus, like you say, making your living driving and night driving and everything like that. I think it's something that was probably long overdue. And I'm glad you was able to go ahead and get it
We
done.
will get into the power hour in a little bit because I wanted to get off onto a rant type of thing. PJ from over the pond in Thailand will like me. And it's not so much of a rant. It's not so much of a rant than it is a education. Because you guys watch this show, because this show is desired or is designed. The Monday show is to give a history and the insides going on, the good, bad, and the ugly of Power Pro Wrestling, and to teach our audience, who's big wrestling fans, to teach our audience certainly about the way we did things back in the day and the way professional wrestling operates. Because I'll be totally honest, and I don't want anybody offended by this because it just is what it is. When I got involved as a fan of professional wrestling at 10 years old, started selling merchandise at 13 years old, started ring announcing at at 13 or 14, then evolved up where I was the owner, the founder, the president of Power Pro Wrestling. It was a closed society. The word that everybody throws out all the time is kayfabe, and kayfabe was a word that 20 years ago only the people in the business knew. The word blade was the word that only the people in the business knew. The word babyface, only the people in the business knew. The word babyface heel, you can go over and over and over because of a lot of people listen to podcasts or read the dirt sheet, the wrestling newsletter written by people that was never in the wrestling business. They are teaching our audience, they are teaching the fans, they are teaching people that want this knowledge. They're teaching lessons that they don't know what they're teaching, they don't know about because they've never done it. Now, if you listen to some podcasts with some of the newer wrestlers, the modern wrestlers, I could talk to them the way I would have talked to Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler or Tommy Rich or Doug Gilbert or Wolfie D or Jamie Dundee or Austin Idol or Jimmy Valiant or Jackie Fargo or any number of people. And it would be like I was talking a foreign language too. Same thing goes to if I go in a dressing room and somebody doesn't, hey, give so and so a finish. The way I give finishes is the way people from my generation would give a finish, give orders for the match, give direction for the match. They wouldn't know because I talk in wrestle talk, call it wrestle speak, wrestle talk. And they don't talk like that today. They talk in television talk. And I can talk TV talk too, but they just talk in a whole different world. So I think it's our responsibility, mine and Adam Dunn, to teach, because I think people that read the newsletters, listen to this podcast or video cast, listen to JR's, listen to Jeff's, listens to other people, I think you want to learn. And I think that you like when you go in the week. This is a new segment. It will not be a every week segment. It will be sometimes on Monday, sometimes on Tuesday. It's called Class with Randy Hales. And we're going to, before we get into the Power Hour watch along, we're going to dive deep and try to explain how this was going on. We talk about on my shows two different eras of Memphis wrestling: the era of the 70s, 80s, 90s era, and that is the area from Channel 5 and Channel 13. Before that, that was the Jarrett Promotion era, the Nick Gulas and Roy Welch era. It was set up from 1977 to 1997 as the TV5 1960 Union in Memphis, Tennessee. And I thought that I would go through this pretty quickly on how a wrestling show was laid out and formatted. And I will give you an idea. This is a run sheet, a format. You see where it says segment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To give you an idea, I just randomly picked show number 50, March the 27th, 1998. It starts out with 1-1. That means segment 1, item number 1. Then I say SOT, that means sound on tape. That means a videotape. Then I say Dave Brown, Randy Hales confrontation taped in studio at 10:45. Then 1.2 is a 15-second opening theme. Then section number 1-3 is set open with Randy Hales with VO recap last week's highlights. Then 1-4 is ring Glenn Kalka against the Yellow Jacket, scheduled for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That was scheduled to be over at 11:06:15. Then a SOT, sound on tape, Michael Hayes, Freebird Michael Hayes interview, 2 minutes 30 seconds. That was scheduled to be over at 8:45. And then 1-7 is break 1. It's for 2 minutes. We're scheduled to come back on the air at that point at 10 minutes and 45 seconds. I want to real quick give everybody just a brief difference between the CWA wrestling program, the 70s and 80s wrestling programs into the 90s compared to what Power Pro is. And I'll kind of, and hey, Barry, hey, the other eye's getting done Wednesday, my friend. Good to hear from you. We'll catch up on, I know Rod is saying something, and we'll get caught up on that. The Memphis show, starting in March of 1977, had moved to the NBC affiliate, the strongest local television station in the Memphis market. It's located at 1960 Union in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, the television came from the ABC affiliate, WHBQ, and had been moved years and years before from 3:30 in the afternoon every week for an hour and a half live show to the time period it's known for now from 11 to 12:30. That was a legendary wrestling announcer and programmer Lance Russell's idea to move that show to 11 o'clock, and the rest is history. Again, 1977 to 1997. It can get a little confusing because I want everybody just to listen to me on this, as this is Class with RH, how to format and lay out and book wrestling television. Now, the Memphis show was 90 minutes in total running time. 47 minutes or 5 segments of the show was taped. It was taped and it would be bicycled starting the next week in Nashville, Louisville, Evansville, Lexington, Tupelo, Mississippi, and Jackson, Tennessee, plus other syndicated stations that we had. This show was all over, and throughout the years, it kind of, as it went along, we went into different markets. The Memphis 90-minute live shows was 10 segments, 9 breaks. 5 segments that's taped for the out of town do not mention any mention of Memphis or any specific cards, Memphis rundowns, Memphis card rundowns, out of town cards, or specific promos or thoughts for Memphis at all. That 47 minutes would be in a master tape, and it would be taken back by, over the years, Eddie Marlin, me, whoever, and drop it off to Randy West on Saturday after television. Now, the running time on the Memphis television show was 88 minutes and 55 seconds in length. The main event of a lot of these shows back in the day was a expiration of time match. It could go 1 fall, it could go 2 out of 3, 2 falls, 3 falls, 4 falls. It didn't matter till we're out of time. Sometime we were heavy on the Memphis show. It would just get one. It would just get one fall because the Memphis part of the show had gone over one show, and we do a close. That close was not taped. Sometimes, hey, Verde Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody. That's all that would happen. Get right out. But say we had 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the tape to make that show complete. So we would have the second fall then. When that second fall was completed, we would take a break. Now, we would release the audience. They would leave. Then Dave and Lance would do a close specific for the out-of-town tape. We might need 30 seconds. We might need 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Whatever the case, they would do it. So it was kind of complicated laying that stuff out. Now, Randy would get the out-of-town tape on Saturday. He would get it. Couldn't do anything with it on a Saturday at all. Now, what would happen at this point, and Randy can correct me, because this happened, I hadn't done this, and Randy hadn't either, since 1997, dealt with the hour-and-a-half show. But what we would do on Monday nights, usually about 5 o'clock at the Mid-South Coliseum, Lance would, sometimes Dave, sometimes me, if we couldn't get either one of them, would do the interviews. Now, there was 3 interviews inserted in the show. The first interview, babyface interview for 2 minutes. Now, over the years, it was Eddie Marlin or me would count the wrestlers down. And basically, what the cues were, if the wrestler's doing an interview and you saw that by Eddie or by me, if you saw that, that would be 30 seconds. If you saw that, that was 15 seconds. And then looking at the stopwatch, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're out of there. And we would hit that every time. So we would do the 1 minute Hill interview, then we would, or the 2 minute Hill interview, the 1 minute Lance or the announcer going over the out of town action, and say the Louisville card, the Evansville card, the Lexington card, the Nashville card, the out of town cards. And then we would do the babyface interview next. So they were spread throughout the show. So 2 minutes and 1 minute. And then Randy would on Tuesday morning start slipping the interviews in each show and we would do shows for each specific market. Interviews specific for Louisville, for Evansville, for Nashville, for Lexington, blah blah blah. Randy had to place all those together and get it together and then call FedEx and they would come get the tape. And that was just a situation that took place every week. And it was just certainly a very complicated. In 1977, when Jerry Jarrett took over the company, a guy named Mike Shields was the cameraman. He used films a lot back in the day. He had been around for a while. Once Randy West got involved, there was already to videotape, and at the time, I think they used a 2-inch tape that they would convert it to, but a 3/4 inch tape is what they put it in throughout the years. We had camera work done by Mike Shields, the great majority of it by my buddy Randy West, also by a guy named Ken Purnell who worked at Channel 5. Basically, that is the setup for the Memphis show, a 9-segment show, an hour and a half. I want to bring back in, and because I'm throwing a lot at you, and from a TV production standpoint, I want Adam to comment on this and ask me, because Adam wasn't born in most of this crap. He really wasn't. I don't know. You watched some USWA live, so it's not like you never did. But the classic CWA, you weren't born yet. I mean, you really weren't. So if you can, I did Wrestle Talk there. Can you clean that up? Can you comment? Or if you have any question about the 90-minute show, ask me.
Yeah, so, of course, as everyone watching this knows, I love the production side of it, clearly. And it was always fascinating to me because, growing up in Memphis, I was there in the studio and got to be a part of the live 90-minute show. But as Randy has pointed out, that show was formatted in such a way that, yes, in Memphis, you got the full 90 minutes minus back in the day that last match. You may not get all of that 2 out of 3 fall match because it being a live show, depending on how heavy or light we were on time. And then after Memphis went off the air, you would get the last 2 or 1 falls of that other one, and that would be for the out of town tape, because there's just how they were timed. You would know how much more time you needed to put that hour tape together.
Now let me throw this in real quick, Adam, that it went the same way. Sometimes we were heavy as hell on the Memphis show, but light on the tape. Sometimes we were heavy on the tape, but light on the Memphis show. So it could be that there's 2 falls on the 90-minute show and just 1 fall on the tape. It could go either way.
Right. Yeah. Just depending on how the time went. And so, of course, everyone watching in Memphis, you would see live the rundown for the Mid-South Coliseum, and you would see the out-of-town stuff, but you would see the out-of-town stuff that was in the Memphis market, like Kennett, Blytheville, Lula, Mississippi for the casinos or something like that. Those segments, however, would not air out of market. And so what you would do out of market is you would have what was shot in the studio, but then you would also have, like Randy pointed out, the 2-minute babyface or the 2-minute heel promos that would be specific for, let's say this one was going to Louisville. So they would talk about what was going to happen at the Louisville Gardens, or this one's going to Evansville. So they would talk about what's going to happen at the Evansville Coliseum. So that's what would make them specific. Plus, you had to do it in such a way that that live show in Memphis that aired today would not air until the following week in every other market. So your TV was a week behind. And so therefore your cards and your matches that you did at the other arenas also were a week behind from what you were doing in Memphis. But of course, that was before you had widespread cable and internet and everything like that. And then by the time that did come around, USWA and the multiple television market thing had kind of gone away, because as USWA went away, you had people like Danny Davis and people like Burt Prentice that had already gotten their own TV into some of those old USWA markets. So then you just had the 1 hour live Memphis Power Pro show from 98 to 2001. So you didn't have to worry about that. And it kind of worked out timing wise because that's when the internet and everything else was starting to come around. So it kind of worked out pretty good if you think about it from that perspective. I wish we could have had a 90-minute Power Pro show. I wish we could have syndicated it all over on the Raycom stations. And probably by that time, just depending on the programming in the other markets, you probably could have been on in multiple markets live, or they probably could have at least shown them later that day or the next day.
Very interesting. And we're going to talk about Power Pro Wrestling because in 97, and Adam, let's pop you right back up real quick because you have the timeline. I'll ask this every time. When did the USWA go out?
It went out in October of 1997.
Okay, October 97. That left no wrestling. So certainly not just in Memphis, but that left our entire territory because the people that had bought the company quit paying, were losing markets anyway, not paying the bills and that sort of thing. So all of a sudden, Danny Davis, as we mentioned, was running Louisville and Burt Prentice in Nashville. We lost the territory. Memphis was the only thing left. And so that was already gone. That was already gone. I got the idea, and as Adam says, that went away as a TV5 deal in October, but as a 90-minute Saturday morning show, it might have gone away in September. Am I correct to that?
Yeah, I believe it was September is when they lost the lives. Actually, it was the last Saturday in August of 97 was the last live 90-minute show. Starting Saturday, September 6th, 1997, it moved to midnight on Saturday, and it was taped. And just a couple of those were taped Saturday morning in the studio. Then after that, they went to like a showing classic matches thing, and that only lasted a couple of weeks before the whole thing was out of business.
Go ahead, Adam, and I'll go ahead.
I was going to say something else about the Memphis show, and I just in saying that I forgot what I was going to say about the Power Pro show. So go ahead. I might think of it.
Okay. Just feel free to come in. And Coquina 72 says, and some of these questions, and this is the purpose of the segment. So the title of this segment, as Coquina has put out that who ran the USWA, but go ahead, class with RH, because I think people love or sponges and they love information. And Memphis Wrestling, the highest rated local television show, period. Anywhere, folks. Now, give you a little bit of history, Coquina, that in the beginning, in the 60s and 70s, it was never called Memphis Wrestling, because it aired, as we talked about, in a lot of different territories. In the beginning, it was called Championship Wrestling. Then it was called CWA. And then in the early 90s, it was named USWA. That USWA was a merger between the Dallas World Class Promotions in the early 90s and the CWA to form the USWA. And that was, just like the CWA, just like Championship Wrestling, was a Jarrett promotion show. So with the USWA, Jerry Jarrett and Jerry Lawler was the owners of Jarrett Promotions. And there was different bookers throughout the years in the CWA days, and then again in the USWA days. I had probably besides Jerry Jarrett, because Jerry Lawler never booked at a long period of time, had super success, but he would get burned out quick. And I had a long run comparatively. So basically in the wrestling business, who runs the wrestling or the wrestlers is the booker. And that would have been me for a long time. And throughout the years, you had Jerry Jarrett booking and Jerry Lawler booking, and certainly you had Jeff Jarrett helping, and you had Eddie Gilbert booking, and Dutch Mantell booking, and Bill Superstar Dundee booking, and Tom Ernesto booking and Eric Embry booking, and I'm leaving out somebody, but going on and on and on. So that's basically, hopefully, that answered your question of who. And yeah, I mentioned Eric Embry. Did I not? Did I not mention Eric Embry? I thought I mentioned Eric Embry. Adam, did I mention Eric Embry, or did I forget Eric?
No, you mentioned them. I think the only person I could think of right off that you might have missed, and it was a
Mike
short run in
Samples.
'97, was Mike Samples.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it was kind of Lawler, Mike Samples, then Dutch, and then I think kind of after Dutch, maybe for a couple of minutes, Bill Behrens and James Beard might have. But yeah, but then everybody else that you mentioned before that it would kind of circulate between Jarrett and Lawler and you and Dundee, and just kind of go through that throughout the years.
Broach says USWA, CWA, or Power Pro. Either way, it was awesome wrestling. Now, in early 97, I left. Dave Brown and I both left the television or left the promotion because Jerry Lawler had brought in a guy named Larry Burton to help sell the company. By that time I left, Jerry Jarrett had been bought out and he was gone. Eddie Marlin wasn't around. It was just a total fiasco of a situation. And Dave and I both left knowing, first of all, it was Dave's livelihood. He was a weather guy and a personality on the WMC Channel 5 show. And if there's some BS going on with the wrestling program, he didn't want to be a part of it. I had a great relationship as certainly. Now, called the producer to the TV people. Adam wouldn't have called me the producer. You know, that in his mind is a TV thing. In a wrestling wise, basically the producer, the person that formatted the show and produced it from a wrestling standpoint was the booker. And that's what I did. And I had a good relationship with the television station. So I got out while the getting is good. And so when the stink was off a little bit, I went in, had a meeting with the general manager and got my own show. And certainly I was hoping it would be 90 minutes, but they gave me a 1 minute show, a 1 hour show. And I don't think I'm pretty brilliant with the wrestling program. And I don't think I could do a very exciting 1 minute show, 1 hour, 60-minute show. I was used. Now this was in one market, a one market wrestling program. And I was used to the big territory, and I was used to 10 segments, 9 breaks. It was totally different. I was worried also not just drawing in Memphis, had to draw in Louisville, Evansville, Nashville, and everywhere else. It was a whole different philosophy of running television for sure. And now I will take a look at Adam. Let me look. Is that I have lost here, but I have a format. I can tell you the Power Pro show, the running time of the show was 57 minutes and 55 seconds. There was 7 segments, 6 breaks, 7 segments, 6 breaks. That's what that show was for sure. And that's how it worked out. You know, I was just going to explain to everybody, the booking was different in the territory system than in the Memphis situation. We got a great majority of our money from the WWE developmental deal and from TV5 revenue. And that made us where we didn't have to be real selective and we didn't have to run a lot of towns and be pretty selective of what we did run. And you could pay off more stories and have more competitive and better matches and stars versus stars on the Power Pro deal. And we did this every week. And just give you a general idea for the paperwork that that when we showed up for television, and I was living here in my hometown of Jonesboro, Arkansas at the time, would usually leave about 6:30 or 6:45, go by Brandon Baxter's house, pick him up. Our system was the same every time. I would drive there, he would drive back. That's the way we would do it, and we would get to TV. I would start working, jotting notes down, handwritten notes down, usually pretty quick after the Saturday morning show was over. And then I would work on it all week. Then by Wednesday, I would start putting it on, start putting it on paper, and put it on paper and format and time it and put it into a format just like that. The paperwork we would take to TV is the format and the run sheets. And this is the point I get aggravated that people calls it a script. Scripted. I've never written a script in my life. The first thing I would do is write a memo. This one is to Dave Brown and Brandon Baxter, and regarding notes for March the 27th, show number 50, then segment 1, and then it goes this hour show, and you see the different things. And I will give you just a general idea. I will read two things. Segment number 1 was the sound on tape of Dave Randy confrontation taped in studio at 10:45. The notes said that were given to Brandon, to Dave, to Corey, and a copy or two was on hand that we would do story after that the wrestlers could look at so they can remember stuff that I would have, Lawler would have, or Brandon would have told them. So this says 1-1 SOT. The theme of last week's show was a hostile takeover. We will start with the same theme. About 10:45 or 10:50, Dave will go out to do the show, and Randy Hale's out and tells Dave that since Corey is either hurt or scared not here, Randy will do the show with him. This will be taped to be shown as a code open with graphics that say earlier today, WMC Studios. And then Dave refuses to do a show with Randy. And we heard Dave say, Randy, that you will not get your way this time. I'm going to make a telephone call. We show a shot of Dave walking away, and we go into the opening theme of the show, the live open, the previews from the previous week. Then it says the show will start with Randy Hales on top of the world. He opens the show and brags about running Dave off of it. So that's what you get with the paperwork and the show notes. Now, I also did announcer notes, segment by segment, match after match. Say a Mick Tierney versus Jerry Lawler match. I might mention last week, Jerry Lawler beat Steve Bradley. Mick Tierney beat Buddy Wayne. Next week, they will be involved against each other in a part of a six-man tag team match, blah, blah, blah. There was different notes to the announcers and given background from the wrestlers, that notes. Also, there was live event cards, the on tour segment. We would type that out and send it to Channel 5 where they could go ahead and create the graphics. That's for the on tour. And also the Memphis card or the New Daisy card or the Jonesboro card, we would do that too. And Adam Dunn has a thought as we continue school with Randy. Class.
Just while you're mentioning sending the graphics in for WMC to put them on the screen for the on tour, Al asked, what towns besides Memphis were able to watch Power Pro on television? Was Jonesboro one? So I just wanted to point out that during this time, this was before you had HD digital signals from a TV station. They were still analog. And so, still today we have AM radio, FM radio, and you have TV. A lot of AM and FM radio is still analog. There are some digital, especially in a larger market like Memphis. But at that time, a analog TV signal was basically the picture was AM, the sound was FM, put it together, you got a TV signal. Memphis WMC TV's broadcast range at that time was a 150-mile radius of the transmitter in Memphis. So any town within about a 150-mile radius of WMC could watch it off air. And of course, any cable or satellite or whatever. So Jonesboro, obviously, but anything basically from to the Boot Heel to Missouri, all over through eastern Arkansas and good parts of West Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, on over. Anything within about a 2-hour radius of Memphis, they were able to watch Power Pro Wrestling. I just wanted to
starting with Greg, start and then go up from that, and let's catch up on his.
Yeah. So Gregory White, to the point there, he says he was able to watch it in Oxford on cable. And right here, Brooks says WMC TV was in Greenville, Mississippi till wrestling ended. So correct. Now, important fact on that too, if let's just say today, for some reason, WMC called Randy and said, hey, we want you to do a TV show here. With streaming and everything else, it's pretty much limitless. But as far as an off-air signal, and this blows my mind, and I think it's just because now with TV stations going digital, they can have digital sub-channels. So, whereas before, WMC TV 5, that was it. But now you've got 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and they'll have other networks on those sub-channels. Even back then, you had KAIT Channel 8 in Jonesboro, but their signal and the signal of the same affiliate in Memphis didn't really cross over. Now, if you lived in West Memphis and had cable, you could get the Channel 8 ABC out of Jonesboro, and you could get ABC out of Memphis also on the same cable. But to my point, now living in Jonesboro, you cannot get Channel 5 off air because Channel 8 has an NBC sub-channel. So no, you now off air, your digital signal is clearer and better, but it doesn't go as far. So, and then if you have a competitive network in a neighboring market, they will take it in place of the next strongest market. So just wanted to point that out as well.
Do you have any questions for me before we shift gears? And I'm almost an hour into this show when we're normally over, we're just starting. But I thought this was very important, and put the caption up there again. This is Class with Randy. Do you think, Adam, this is a segment we should add on a regular basis when we have some sort of information to educate the people instead of them listening to the wrong shit?
Right. Yeah, I would agree. I would say maybe we can do this, at least once a month, and maybe we can do it. Maybe we can kind of pick out and say, hey, we're going to do it the first Monday, last Monday, whatever, kind of make it something where people can expect it. But yeah, I think probably at least once a month, kind of giving just a little deep dive into the history and just, again, explaining what made Memphis wrestling so special. It was a very special wrestling territory, but it was also, and in my opinion, first and foremost, a very special television program.
Now, I want real quick for our audience, real quick before we move on, to let us know this is the very first edition of the Class with RH, how to format Memphis Wrestling Television, and we can get deep dive down. I want to know if Randy West, I wanted to know if Greg, he says very informative, certainly. I wanted to know what you thought of this segment, and we do that sort of thing. And this could be a segment that would work on the Monday show or the Tuesday show very well. Al said that he loved it. Greg Wayne said he thought it was very informative, and I think people, for the most part, did. Well, Adam, what do you think? About 50 minutes into this sucker, the Power Hour, they probably forgot. You want to go ahead real quick, tell the people what they're going to see. Give them a preview again.
Let's see if I got it still pulled up here real quick. I will. Super quick. We'll run it down one more time. We're going to see Randy in the studio. We're going to see the Memphis Mafia back around. Our first match will be sensational Steve Bradley going against Slick Robbie D. We'll see Kid Wicked. We'll see an interview with BSK. We'll see the Olympian Kurt Angle going up against Black Sheep Bobby Doll. We'll see Wolfie and Tommy Rich. Bulldog Reigns will be taking on Reggie B. Fine. And we'll see J.R. Smooth, Mick Tierney, and Glenn Kulka in action against Wolfie D, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, and the Dirty White Boy. All coming up here in just a few moments. Randy.
Show number 66 from July the 17th, 1999, Power Pro Wrestling. Here we go. Enjoy.
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.
The Power Hour.
Hello again, everybody. Dave Brown and Corey Macklin at ringside, and we're at ringside with the founder, the owner, and the president of Power Pro Wrestling, Randy Hale.
Well, I'm going to start with what I think is bad news, then go right into some good news that I think the fans will really like. First of all, as a result of a match this last week, we have a new matchmaker of Power Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
we're not happy with it, Kevin Christian, but still the owner, founder, and president of Power Pro, and I have an announcement I think the people will really like. It's been requested the last few weeks. I've checked with the lawyers. After we requested a bond to be posted, Doug Gilbert has been 100% reinstated and is here today.
He will be on TV now, huh?
A part of Power Pro Wrestling. Doug Gilbert is here, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, I think that you tell the fans are excited about it. They're great. Now, as I understand, you've made him post a performance bond, and so he can be here.
Absolutely had to do that, the lawyer said, to protect herself, that sort of thing. But we are excited about that, without a doubt, in the world.
There he is, the Memphis Mafia, they're calling themselves, just arriving right now. There's Wolfie D, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Dirty White Boy, Wildfire, Tommy Rich.
Yeah, here they are. What a way to crank up the power hours today, huh?
Here they come. I see Wolfie's got the hubcap with him. Here's Dirty White Boy and Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Well, we've seen him from the parking lot the last couple of weeks, but he's back in the house here today. Wolfie?
That's right. The four toughest men in Power Pro Wrestling are here together at the same time, and that means bad news for the BSK. Now, Kid Wicked, you made a point to stick your nose in my business last Saturday night. Well, this Saturday night, I'm going to make it a point to introduce you to my finish, Tony. Yes, I'm kicking your butt tonight, Kid Wicked, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's at the New Daisy coming up tonight, fans. That's right, back in the New Daisy tonight.
It's short and simple. J.R. Smooth, today, I'm getting the white girl back regardless. And then, big boy, if you've harmed one hair on her head, I'll stomp your stinking guts out, and I'll throw you in this muddy thing they call a river over here. That is a promise from the white boy to you. You get ready, punk.
J.R. Smooth kidnapped Kim a couple of weeks ago.
You know, it looks like things going really good now. Dougie's back, Wildfire's back, and there's a whole lot of things going on. You know, tonight it's a New Daisy. You know, you're talking BSK, talking about taking whoopers. Well, they ain't never been in no barbed wire. They ain't never chased no cows down and fell in that barbed wire. Let me tell you something. New Daisy tonight, you're in for a rude awakening, my brothers. Because what it amounts to, that ring will be wrapped around with barbed wire. 5 strands, top to bottom. And every time you touch it, it'll cut you somewhere. You take a head of lettuce and run down it and rip it apart. And when we get through with the BSK, Dangerous Doug and myself, we might be bleeding, but y'all sure as hell going to be bleeding a whole lot more.
Tommy Wildfire Rich, big match coming up tonight. Main event at the New Daisy Theater.
You know what? Memphis Tennessee, Dangerous Doug, Bill 6 City, on Pro Wrestling. You know what, Dave Brown? I heard you out out here saying that I paid a performance bond.
That's right.
I didn't pay Randy Hales one red cent, and I will never give him one dime.
Well, somebody did because the performance bond was paid, because no way you'd be standing here right now if he didn't have it. So that's all I know.
Tommy, did you pay Randy Hales that bond? Yeah, did you pay him the bond? I let him borrow some money. Well, you know what? Listen, Randy Hales, I would almost pay you to work here because I got business that ain't taken care of. So help me God, when the name Gilbert comes out, what do you think? You think violence, don't you? So help me God. You look in these crazy eyes, and by God, I am crazy. Tonight, the New Daisy Theater, when I rip that barbed wire around their poles, and you people want to see blood flow like fire. J.R. Smooth, if you think burning hurts, BSK, if you think anything, if you think you've ever been scared before, you better call your mama, boys, and you better take back off up north, because when you come to Memphis, Tennessee, you come to the town that the Gilberts built, and that's a promise. What we're going to do to me, to every fan in Memphis, Tennessee.
Big promise from Dangerous Doug Gilbert. He can back up most of that. Let me tell you, tonight, New Daisy Theater, big barbed wire.
Adam and I laid out
We've got
as we
action
watched
coming up
that
here on the
opening
Power Hour.
segment.
We are
I
just
thought that
underway.
set up a lot of stuff.
And
I thought it was an
right
excellent,
now, our
excellent
first man,
promo.
Slick
As
Robbie
we
D
see
is headed into the ring.
Slick Robbie D
He's gonna be going
come into
against,
the studio
sensational
now.
Steve
What
Bradley.
did you
This
think
ought to
about
be
that
a great
opening
match.
segment, Adam?
Well, it was nice having a good, established faction of guys there that was really, we talked about the differences in USWA and Power Pro. That could have been a USWA promo with the same players. But then look, here we are now going into the old school, the new twist, seeing guys like Slick Robbie D and Steve Bradley, who just 2 years earlier, you wouldn't have seen these guys in Memphis
A
wrestling.
lot changed in the wrestling business because, as we said, 1997 it went away. This was 1999, and the business changed radically, and it changed with WCW. It changed with the death of the territories. It changed with the WWF at the time, later to become the WWE. It had just totally changed, and this was Memphis Wrestling with the new twist, because this Steve Bradley, who gets a lot of credit from Kurt Angle of teaching Kurt Angle
in Power Pro
3
Wrestling,
matches,
two of the finest I think you're going to find anywhere.
Robbie D,
Bradley
no longer
has been
with us,
impressive since day one.
unfortunately.
Look at that. That's one.
But he was an athletic son of a gun and a tough son of a gun. This Bradley, just very, very, very good.
They have, and Robbie D himself was pretty well received in his first couple of appearances here. Yeah. And both these wrestlers have continued to give the fans very entertaining
Listen
matches.
how Randy was just giving you a little bit of background on these guys, and listen to Dave and Corey giving you background on both the guys and telling you about it. That's something that, kind of missing from today's wrestling. You don't get a lot of that. You think you have a color commentator and you have an announcer that have two very specific roles to play. And Dave and Corey did such a great job doing that.
And Robbie D backs up. There's Bradley down on the concrete floor down there.
He wouldn't try to go over that rope after him, would he?
Look out!
Whoa! He did.
Man, these two, let me tell you, what an exciting
That was a great move by Robbie D. Very athletic, and this is a sensational match. Got a shout out to our referee, Aubrey Wayne, who did a great job with Power Pro Wrestling. Big backdrop from Slick Robbie D.
There's a backdrop by Robbie D, and Robbie D right now in control of the match.
Kid Wicked is going to be with us here a little later on today on the Power Hour.
He's still lugging that trophy around, claiming it's his, although he is not the Young Guns champion. Be advised when you see him. Oh, what a move.
That flip off the top rope, man. That's a 2 count.
Great move.
Yeah, what a move.
Great move. Just couldn't hold him for a 3 count. The match continues.
Good-looking move from Robbie D. As he came off the top rope with a sunset flip. I just thought he had him. That's why I jumped in on you there. But as you were saying about Kid Wicket.
Yeah, Kid Wicket is not the Young Guns champion, so when you see him with that trophy, don't be misled.
Yeah,
he
that's
has
true.
the trophy. Count of 2. Oh, my goodness. Steve Bradley again. Very close to being counted out, but able to bring the shoulder up before the count of 3 fell.
Robbie D with a, I don't know what you call that. I almost said breakdancer, but it didn't look like breakdancing. I don't know what that was. Comes off, he misses. I know what that is. That's a drop kick he misses Bradley on. And look at Bradley, rolls him over. He's got his shoulder.
He got
a 3 count.
Very good finish.
Got him.
New
Steve
school
Bradley
type of
with the
finish.
victory. Kid
New
Wicket will be
school
coming
type of
up.
match.
Says the Power Hour.
Very,
continues.
very exciting match. Be sure to check me out if you're not already on the YouTube channel at Randy Hills, on RB Hills on Twitter, and the Randy Hills Facebook page, the Power Pro page, and the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame. Listen to this spot.
Tierney, Robbie D, and Reggie B. Fine. Wolfie D collides with Kid Wicket. Vicious Vic Grimes defends the Young Guns title against sensational Steve Bradley. See a ladies' cat fight. J.R. Smooth defends the Power Pro title against the Dirty White Boy. Tommy Wildfire Rich and Dangerous Doug Gilbert meet 2 members of BSK in a barbed wire match. New matchmaker Kevin Christian promises 2 mystery matches that will shock the Power Pro world. Balcony seats $5, general admission $8, and ringside 10. 10 big matches. It's a Beale Street Saturday night, 8 p.m. New Daisy Theater tonight.
Production-wise, Adam, I know you'll agree, this holds up with any production, graphic, selling promo that you see on television today. They did a real good job with that.
Yeah, for this promotion to be the size that it was, we're not talking the WWE or AEW, but yeah, I could see this today on a local television or streaming or anything like that. Absolutely.
They don't know, do they? Well, I already know. Finally, I've proven that I am the franchise player here in Power Pro Wrestling because, number 1, I have the most wicked girl in Memphis at my side. And if you don't believe me, take a trip over to Mount Moriah. Number 2, I am the reigning Young Gun champion. Possession is 9/10 of the law, Corey, and I do believe I possess this trophy. Now, tonight, I'm booked against Wolfie D. Wolfie D, yeah, a couple of years ago, you had your little run. You worked in WrestleMania 13, but you screwed it up, Wolfie. You see, we all like to party, but Wolfie, your party favors took you straight to the pawn shop and pawning off your PlayStation so you could get another fix. Oh, man. Well, tonight, Wolfie, you might just have a flashback when I take you on my wicked trip.
Kid Wicket, he's out here with Siren and all of this crazy stuff, talking about Wolfie and PlayStation and all this stuff. Isn't that crazy?
Just get
Excuse
the
me,
ring.
ma'am. We get by, thank you.
And leave the trophy here. It actually belongs to somebody
Dave
else,
didn't
not
sound
to
too
you,
pleased
okay?
with that interview.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
that's-
comes,
Listen to it
Derek
back. I'm not
King
pleased
headed
with
toward,
it either.
the
I
ring.
finally gave it to him.
Here he is, Mr. Personality. We got CB White with
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Maybe
variety
why.
on this show today.
Derek King.
What do you want, Derek?
What is this, Derek?
What now, Derek?
My name is Teja. I'm here to watch some of the matches here because I hadn't seen any of the Power Pro matches, and I'm here to watch some of the matches here. I'm just going to sit there and watch this.
Where's Derek King?
Wait a minute.
This is Derek. This is not tight.
Look at this tight.
Hey, look out! Look, Dave in the ring. Whoopie D has hit the ring. Kid Wicket talking all of that talk he was talking earlier. Let's see if he can back it up. Wolfie, I think, is taking it pretty personal about the comments. Whoa, man, he slams him down. Look out, Wolfie.
Big Grimes.
Here comes Big Grimes. And
The referee has called for the bell.
yeah.
I don't know how this one is going to be ruled. As Vic Grimes comes in and first one after Wolfie.
Here's
Here's
Steve
Steve Bradley.
He,
Boy, these two, there's some bad blood between those two.
yeah. This thing is not an official bout. And Derek King, or Taha, whatever he wants to be called, hits the ring.
Well, it's Derek King. His tights have DK all over them for
Big
Derek
Grimes,
King.
he runs over
got the
grabs the Young
trophy.
Guns trophy.
That's right, it's my trophy, and I'm taking it home. And if you interfere, I'm gonna pop your moneymaker, girl.
Big Grimes has the trophy, and he's on his way out of here.
Vic Grimes has the trophy. He's out of here. Kid Wicked's behind him, and hey, let me tell you, as bad as I hate to say it, because hey, no love lost between any of these two guys, Kid Wicked and Vic Grimes, but Grimes is officially the Young Guns champion. But who knows?
Right.
He's got the trophy. Let's regroup and get back to it.
Sounds like a winner to me. Lots more to go on the Power Hour.
Yeah.
Corey and I will be back with it right after this.
We'll be back. Yeah. Isn't that something?
What a
It's the Power Hour, and it's been a good one so far, Adam.
Yes, it has. As always, we say it every time, expect the unexpected, and it's been a good show. And again, just you can see just how much even edgier the promos were for that time with, what Tony, Kid Wicked had said out there to Wolfie and things like that. And, I'm sure you probably told him go out there, make it personal, and use some, whatever. And obviously Wolfie was okay with it. But just, again, just given those kind of promos that just really sound personal, you wouldn't have, you didn't quite get that kind of stuff on USWA. So it was, definitely a new era and a new thing that a lot of people weren't exposed to at that time.
Don't forget, we will see Kurt Angle in action against the Black Sheep. Don't forget the Reggie B. Fine in Power Pro Wrestling against Bulldog Reigns. In the main event, we will see from July the 17th, 1999, was J.R. Smooth. You know him better as Rikishi. He teamed with Mick Tierney and Glenn Culka against Wolfie D, Doug Gilbert, and Dirty White Boy. Plus, we see a Memphis Vice interview as well, a loaded Power Pro Wrestling. We started off with Class with Randy as we talked about formatting the Memphis television shows back to the classic CWA days, all the way through Power Pro Wrestling. And I think now, if you look at local television, I can't figure out what the format is. I don't think they have one. I think they decide what's going. They just shoot a bunch of stuff and put it together in a TV. I really have no idea. Not there, not in.
Power Pro Wrestling, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104.
Hey, we got a full house enjoying things here today. Love to have you with us. That's the address right there. Tickets are free. Don't forget that self-addressed stamped envelope, though. Your tickets will be mailed back to you in that envelope. Without that envelope, you probably won't get the tickets, so don't forget that. Well, here's Kevin Christian right here, looking all spiffed up and very proud of himself, I guess. Well, yeah, just keep in mind that you're just the matchmaker here. You're not running everything, all right?
No, see, you're unaware, Dave. I'm glad to have you working here for me today. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine.
Well, look, here's the thing. I'm sure...
I'm not working for you. Let's get that right.
Well, I'm the matchmaker. Who's
You're the
the thing? I
matchmaker.
can't book you a arena match tonight.
You're not going to. Yeah, what do you got here?
Well, here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people saw the promos for the matches tonight at the New Daisy down on Bill Street. And the promo also listed that Kevin Christian has 2 surprise matches in store for tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm out here to talk about. I'm so excited because, today is my first official duties as a matchmaker. We got a good list of matches here for tonight. But one of the ones that I want to talk about is...
We got great matches already tonight, but go ahead.
I know, but we got one that's even better. I got 2 guys that I know have had the long history of heat, and these guys have hated each other, and now they come out here and they try to act like friends. But see, what a lot of people don't understand about the wrestling business, everybody thinks there's a lot of fake stuff going on. I'll tell you the fake part about it is when these guys come out here and they act like they're friends, and behind the scenes they're really not. So one of the matches that I'm booking for tonight is Wolfie D against Wildfire Tommy Ridge. That's a good match.
You can't do that. I mean, these guys are team members. They got this Memphis Mafia thing put together here.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Well, it does.
I'm here. I mean, yeah, they might be partners later on today, but the people want to see a good competitive match, and I think the people would like to see Wolfie.
Yeah, we want to see competitive matches, no doubt about that, but this is just silly.
Wolfie, I got you in a match tonight. You and Tommy Ridge. You and Wildfire Tommy Ridge. It's going to be great.
Eddie Munster. What is this, Kevin? I've been gone for a while, and I come back and you're in charge. If he's in charge of this company, we'll be out of business by next week.
Well, he's making the matches. Yeah, you're right. He's not in charge of the company. He's just making the match.
I wonder, Kevin, why nobody likes you. It's because you do stupid stuff like this. This is ridiculous. Me and Tommy came in here.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it? We're partners. We're in the Memphis Mafia. We came in this thing together.
Hey,
that was 1994, Kevin.
Yeah, but the bottom line, this is about making money, making business, giving the people what they want to see. Don't you think the people would like to see you and Tommy Ridge in a match? Yeah.
There's your answer.
They want to see them together as partners.
Y'all don't want to see that, do you?
Still be partners. They can still be partners. I'm not saying you have to go out there and fight each other and hit each other. I'm saying go out there, have a competitive match, grab a hold. You know that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I thought you were booking for the 90s.
I am.
Come here,
Tommy, come here for a second.
Maybe you can have better luck with him than I can.
Tommy, did you hear about that? I got you and Wolfie in a match tonight. Now, that sounds like a good idea. Though the people want to see it.
You know, I ain't never in my life ever agreed with Wolfie D, but, you know, this time I think he's 100% right.
What, this isn't a good match?
No, it's not a good match for the simple reason, you know, I mean, he's a good kid. But, I mean, you know, I'm a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I know.
You know, I mean, you talk about we go way back. I mean, when we went way back, I mean, I slapped him around like he was my kid. So, I mean, you know, I mean, all I'm saying is...
It's that the exact same kind of intensity that I want to put on the card for tonight.
But that's not a good match because I'll stomp a mud hole in you.
I know, and see, I remember back when
you're telling the truth.
No, you're not telling the truth. You know, I've been thinking about this, and I had a feeling.
I even slapped his mama one time.
I remember that was
good. Tommy, you know what the problem is here? I've been thinking this is going to happen. Yes. I knew it. Because me and you just can't get along for too long at a time. What this has to do with, Tommy, is you're jealous of me. That's what it boils down to. A long time ago, you may have been the world's champion. And a long time ago, you may have slapped me around. But I'm a grown man now, and you can't slap me.
See, Kevin, it's all because of you. It's your fault. Hey, come on, guys.
I love how Dave had to jump up there to get out of the way.
Hey, look out. Come on.
Hey, we don't have to wait till tonight. We can do it right here today.
Well,
I tell you what we can do is take you and throw you out of here, Kevin. That's what we can do.
Why don't we do that? You can talk into that microphone all day. It's not on. It's not going to be on.
Hey, New Daisy Punk, you want some of this? You got it.
Hey, hold on, guys. Calm down. You have plenty of time to get each other tonight. So just calm down. You get each other tonight at the Daisy.
Yeah, well, this is just the kind of thing that we were afraid of when you started showing up and demanding to be a matchmaker and part of the company and all that sort of thing. Let's, well, Wolfie is in the ring. Come on, Tommy. Don't go in there. Tony, keep them apart if you can. This is just not a good idea at all.
Oh, and it's all because of Kevin. Kevin has started this whole thing up. He executed this whole thing up.
Oh, yeah. Well, they say they're going to settle it tonight at the New Daisy.
Adam, you won't believe I'm going to say this, but I thought Kevin did a great job with that segment. I thought the story, a backstory going back to Tommy Ridge starting wrestling here in 1975 in Memphis and then the 1994 slap where Tommy slapped Mrs. Wolfie D, Mama D is what we were calling her. I thought that was
there was a lot packaged into that segment, a lot of history, a lot of explanation, and a big payoff, all in a relatively short amount of time, with a lot of good, real, raw emotion that felt good. And everyone, like you said, from Kevin to Dave to Tommy to Wolfie, did a fantastic job.
And there's more to come on this Power Hour. There's no doubt about it. More to come. It is 8:14. We are about 14 minutes later than we normally are. Probably guessing maybe 20 minutes left in the show as we're letting it run, letting it roll, and it doesn't help matters, Adam. This master tape that we're not showing the commercials, but the reason we're talking and wasting 2 minutes at a time is there's commercials in our master tape.
Yes, but it also gives us a good opportunity to promote the Facebook, the Twitter, and of course the YouTube for people to subscribe to us on YouTube. We don't do this show live on YouTube, but Randy, you've been doing the Tuesday night show on YouTube and haven't had any trouble, right?
And certainly I want to build the YouTube audience, and we put on YouTube at youtube.com/@RandyHells. We put the archives on the Tuesday shows. You have to look at the live tab and see the live shows that's up there for the live shows. But anyway, you can get our archive. And because the theme of this show is you can put the caption back up, class with RH. And that's what we try to do every week, is that we try to give you, even when we're not doing that debut segment that we did today, class with Randy Hills, we try to do that, give you the inside, the behind the scenes, and how things operate. And there's a lot of segments out there, a lot of subjects out there that I would love to hear by. If you would put my email address up there, it's randybittenhells@gmail.com. randybittenhells@gmail.com, and you can email me and certainly give me ideas for topics of the class with RH. And hopefully Adam, after this, sometimes before this show is over, he can put the email address up there, randybittenhells@gmail.com. I love that video clip, that 30-second promo of the new Daisy Theater. It's such a professional and great job, and this has been so exciting of a show.
Yeah, I think it's important to mention, not for the whole run, but for the first year or two, those 30-second commercials would also air during the week.
Oh, yeah.
He's egged the whole thing
Absolutely.
on. Kevin, these two guys now in the Memphis Mafia are going to be going against each other tonight. Exactly what Kevin wanted. That is absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen nothing like that. Two guys that were friends, Dave, all of a sudden. Yeah. And now Kevin's turned them against each other. Now here's the black sheep. He's got Dirty White Girl with him. Stand still. J.R. Smooth, the Power Pro Heavyweight Champion, making his way to ringside. Hey, come on, man.
Take a real good look at the real woman.
Somebody here. We don't need all of that.
BSK in the house.
Power Pro Heavyweight Champion, J.R. Smooth, and he's a head member of BSK.
Oh, man.
Finally someone has realized the potential of Mick Tierney. J.R. Smooth and BSK has seen my true potential, and he's going to see it tonight. And we've had our way with the Dirty White Girl here, and tonight we're going to have our way with the Dirty White Boy and the rest of the Three Stooges. Let me see this. Someone say something about the Memphis Mafia. I don't think so. BSK is fixing to run rampant over Memphis. Listen to me. I'm fixing to set the record straight. We're fixing to do something that Memphis has never seen. We're fixing to get rough. You want barbed wire? We'll give you barbed wire. You want to bring anything you want to the ring? JR, tell them what we're fixing to do.
Before I start, hey, Big G, man, tell them what's on your mind. I tell you what, I'm going to tell you one thing and make it real quick. Everybody's talking about BSK doing this, BSK doing that. You know what? You're damn right, we're doing it all, brothers. I tell you what. That's a good sign when I hear everybody talking about BSK doing their thing. And then one thing, we strike hard, we strike often, and we strike when we want to strike.
Well, listen up, fools. See, the story is like this. When you talk about Power Hour, you talking about BSK. When you talk about ratings, you talk about BSK. And when you talk about the Memphis Mafia, listen, you're the only reason why we here. Because I'm going to tell you one thing.
You guys are one of the baddest brothers we've ever came up to in a long time. But it's going to be like this. We're going to use you and your punk redneck friends all around Memphis, Tennessee as a stepping stone to raise up to the WWF. Because you know what? See, when you look at this crew here, you're looking at flavor. When you look at this crew here, you're looking at nothing but the cheddar and nothing but the Benjamin. Because the crew like this is nothing but
Yeah, I thought
bills,
that's
y'all.
the
And you know what I'm talking about.
excellent
Vince McMahon,
promo.
if you listening, hurry up and take us out of this place.
Well, that's J.R. Smooth. I tell you what, you're right. Vince McMahon,
Even
if
that
you are
kind of
listening,
taking a little
do
shot
us
at
a
Vince.
favor, Vince, would you come get
As
all
a
of these guys
fan
and take
watching
them
at
up there?
home,
That's where
that
they
tells
belong,
me
not
that
down here, all of this
Vince
stuff.
and the World
Tussling
Wrestling
around Dirty
Federation
White
watch
Girl and
these shows every week.
I mean, Dave, that's just
No doubt about it.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I echo J.R. sentiments. If he doesn't want to be here, we don't have to
Been a loaded show. This has been a fun show, Adam.
Drive away.
Yeah, get in the ring if that's what.
Oh, yeah, it has been.
Hey, these guys get on your dandruff
I
real
want to
fast.
remind everybody that Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Central, we'll be talking Memphis Wrestling. I have a first take that should be interesting, a rant that should be interesting. Totally see Kurt Angle in action and Bobby Dahl. As he has,
Is this Kurt in another one of those curtain jerker opening
Yes.
matches?
8 o'clock is the bell time, and it's beginning. They
what's TV? Get him a win.
I tell
That's
you,
crazy.
really, really weird around here. And,
Yeah, well,
and Power Pro.
Doing a
there's
good
gonna be a
job
lot of
selling.
stuff that's going to have to
And
be settled
you
today
know,
at the New Daisy as a result of what's going on here today.
Bobby
A lot of
Dahl
it we
was
don't
with
like
our
seeing,
top
but,
heel
for
faction,
one thing,
and
that's
he's
Tommy
getting
Rich
offense over
and
Kurt
Wolfie
Angle,
D.
and so when
There's
Kurt
no
Angle
reason for that.
wins the
Kevin
match,
comes out, stirs everything
he'll
up,
beat somebody.
and,
That's wrestling.
you know, kind of
It means
Wrestling
something, right?
booking
to
101.
get those two guys
Remind
who are
everybody
partners
Tuesday
against
night,
each other,
talking Memphis
that
Wrestling at
may
7
have
Central.
implications for,
Wednesday,
other
I have
matches
my
tonight,
cataract
too.
surgery on my left eye. There will be no front row with butt row with Randy Hills on it. No power hour. Bud and Randy Myers will be on there, but I will not be on the front row Wednesday night. Al, I won't be there.
Get him back in there. It's going to be a count out here sooner or later.
Yeah, count both of them out.
Like sheep.
7 is the count.
Oh, man. He slammed him down on that concrete
That's
floor.
a
Right
slow
there.
count up to 8. 9. Just before. Boy, he gave them.
Almost 10, yeah.
I tell you what, you can complain about officiating all you want to, but he really gave those guys both the benefit of a slow count to get back in the ring.
Yeah, he did.
Or that match would have been over right there. Nothing settled.
That was a dangerous looking back body drop.
Christian has 2 mystery matches
Yeah.
that he signed as
Like
crazy
to say,
stuff.
Yeah, we only
you
know
know,
about
Bobby
one.
got some stuff
Yeah,
in. Now
we
here's
don't
Kurt
know what that
coming back.
The other one is. Look at that belly to belly. Here comes BSK.
Mick Tierney is in right behind him. Glenn Kalka.
Right
Here's
there,
J.R.
Kurt
Smooth.
clearly had the win,
Very white girl.
so that doesn't hurt Kurt at all.
Oh, look out.
Here comes, look out.
Comes some help. Look out.
Tony Anthony out here with a looks like an axe
Tony
handle.
White Boy, Tony Anthony's out to J.R. Smooth.
Now we're getting a preview of what would be coming up at the Daisy.
I don't know if we can or not. Look at this. Tommy and Wolfie.
Yeah, going at each other in the ring. And now Doug
Going to
Gilbert
dissension
looks like
between
trying to
Tommy
get
and
in between
Wolfie.
them. Just stop it.
Boy.
What Doug, of course, sees is that the team that they're calling the Memphis Mafia coming apart here.
Kurt Angle jumps in, and he and Doug are going to try to keep Tommy and Wolfie apart, but not for long, because tonight they're signed at the New Daisy on Bill, and now Kevin has just gotten these 2 guys together to make them fight. They
Like it or
a
not,
cat and dog.
like it or not, that match is coming up tonight at the New Daisy. We're going to be back with more of the Power Hour, and we're going to find out about that other match, too.
As I was typing up the preview, Adam, for this show, and as you were reading the preview of this show, and I thought, well, there's some good stuff going on, but there's a lot more to it than what you read and what I wrote on that preview. This has been a action-packed show, aren't you? At the situation where this show has been beyond your expectations after reading
Yes.
it?
Yeah, the preview didn't really do it justice today.
No, not at all. From July of 1999, that's been a long time ago. And the wrestling business evolved. Memphis Wrestling has changed. I don't even want to use the word about Memphis Wrestling as evolved, certainly, because I don't think that's the case. I think that it's certainly the level, not just Memphis, but all the territories. You know, there's nothing to it. And I think we proved by showing these shows that it rivals any wrestling show out there as far as excitement, as far as stories, as far as the production values, the whole thing. The whole thing. I'm very proud of this.
You see already the problem. I know about the match, but you see the problem Kevin Christian has caused. I think you ought to just yank him as a matchmaker right now before everything else gets going weird.
We committed to the thing, and you know it's. You know what? This is one of those crazy days. My cell phone is ringing, and there's one disaster after another. Hello. Hey. You know this is live television. This is live television, and this is not the Dave. Hey, I told you there's no deal. I told you there's absolutely no deal.
Okay. Can you tell us what that was about?
No. I mean, there's serious things going on that you don't know about besides the serious...
Well, here's a very serious one right here that I'm not happy about at all today. As Smart Aleck Kid comes out here.
What a cheap-looking phone I was using,
of what's wrong
Adam.
with this promotion. Randy Hill's out here on variable TV time on the phone. He's trying to take care of his personal business. This is a wrestling show, Randy. You need to, separate business.
He didn't make the call. Somebody called him.
I got to go back to the back.
Well, that's fine, but I don't. You might want to listen to this because I'm supposed to be announcing 2 matches today. Well, this is my second match. The first one. It didn't exactly go like I wanted to. I mean, the last thing in the world I would want is to create any kind of a
Oh, you're the one that started it.
Why am I?
That's what you always do. Come out and just create problems. That's why I don't like seeing you here right now.
Well, anyway, let's
Dave's feelings were certainly not masked at all.
Right now is I want to go ahead and announce another match that I know all these people have been down to see. I've been down to see it. This is a match between 2 guys who you talk about having real inside hatred for each other. Tonight at the New Daisy, live on Bill Street.
Number 2.
Randy Hales against Dangerous Doug Gilbert. What?
Did you hear?
What? Randy Hales against Doug Gilbert.
How can Randy's not even a match? He's not a wrestler. He owns the company.
You do that, you know good.
And see what he's doing. Hey, here's what he's doing,
Randy's not a wrestler. He's been in the main event for the past 2 months.
Randy just reinstated Doug, and now he wants to flip-flop the whole thing and get them into it. Here's Doug.
Crazy, and you know that he's out of control, and you know I don't like him and he don't like me. That's why he's up there.
Yeah, that's why he's doing it.
This is a great segment. I don't remember it.
Match. They're not.
You remember this, Adam?
But I'm not like this man.
Not the specific matches and stuff in this, no.
I guess Randy did.
Yeah.
So you fuck me against Randy.
Finally let it all out tonight. You and Randy. Settle those differences y'all passed for all these years.
So you are the matchmaker, then, right? And you're giving these people what they want to see, right?
Yeah, that's what you guys want to see.
Well, listen to me. Kevin Christian, you've answered a lot of prayers today. And you know what I mean by that? Is you're out here making matches what these people want to see, and you think that you've conned the people that you could never con before, like Randy Hales, right? You've conned people like that.
No con job.
No con job. Oh, okay, Kevin, listen to me. Let me tell you one thing. There's one person that I make no bones about that I can't stand, and I can point my finger at you, Randy Hills, and say that you've been a thorn in my side, and you deserve about the best beating I could give you. But listen, Kevin Christian, you like that, don't you?
Yeah.
You like that? That's good, ain't it? Hold on a second.
You hear the crowd?
You know what these people are saying? Will Kevin?
It sounded like they said, whoop Randy, whoop Randy.
Let me tell you why the people are saying that, and you listen to me. Kevin Christian, like I said, I cannot stand Randy Hales, but you know if there's one thing in Memphis, Tennessee that I can't stand worse than Randy Hales. That's Kevin Christian and your whole stinking family. You listen to me, boy. You shouldn't even be in the same studio as myself or as Randy Hales. You wouldn't even able to make a good pimple on Randy Hales' butt. You listen to me, boy. So help me God. If you ever try to double-cross me again, you see this...
Round one.
Yeah. You just got reinstated. You mess with me and you'll be gone right here today. I'm the matchmaker, so if you want to wrestle powerful wrestling, you do what I say.
This is probably the best Kevin's ever done.
He's going after Kevin. Now there's a match that the people want to see.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants. I'll pay to see that.
Anybody against Kevin Christian, I think.
Right.
Well,
Dave said anybody against Kevin.
Kevin just took off like Bugs Bunny, man. You can catch up with him.
Great job.
He won't be able to find him with a search warrant, I guarantee you.
Yeah, and PJ, to answer your question, let's put it up on the screen. Did the wrestlers ever have throat problems when they always shout in the show? And they absolutely did, absolutely 100% had time. Al Tuttle says was there a town that had more consistent ticket sales than the rest? I think Memphis had a hot time and Jonesboro had a hot time. I think those are the two most. Percentage-wise of sellout, I think Jonesboro would be the top, no doubt about that.
And Clarksville, Mississippi, this Thursday night in Clarksville.
Reggie B. Fine and Bulldog reigns in a match on Power Pro Wrestling. Then the big six-man tag team match coming up. Reggie obviously had health issues recently. Have you read any updates out of them lately?
None, just that he had the issue, he had the surgery, and is recovering is all the updates that I have seen.
Reggie B. Fine, I tell you, haven't agreed with his tactics a lot of times, but he's one of the most entertaining guys ever been around here. I got to tell you that. Bulldog Reigns, he's not too happy right now. Bulldog Reigns has got him in trouble.
Reggie B. doesn't get a chance to take his vest off. And Bulldog jumps right on top of him. He's got Reggie B. Fine. Backs him into the corner. Whips him across the way. Reggie B. stuffs him with the boot. Comes back with a... Body slam and a little Reggie B.
I absolutely agree with Al. We all hope Reggie's doing better.
2 count, yeah. These two guys, I'm telling you what, they go against each other.
Man, if we haven't had enough already, Reggie B. Fine shows up here today on the Power Hour. And how about those 2 matches signed for tonight down in New Daisy?
Oh, yeah. Randy Hales, count of 2 on Reggie B.
2 count, yeah.
2 count. Randy Hales signed against Doug Gilbert. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then Tommy Rich against Wolfie D. A couple of guys who are partners. And all of a sudden, Kevin has got this thing stirred up so that now there's bad blood between the 2 of them, bringing back some old things from younger days.
Yeah, fans chanting Reggie.
The crowd has been fantastic. What the crowd did to get the tickets, and there was a long waiting period. They send an envelope to the WMC 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee. They'd send an envelope requesting tickets and a separate stamped envelope, and then we would send the tickets back to them. Simple as that. The tickets were free.
Reggie B. Fine rolls up Bulldog Reigns and gets the win.
Oh, my goodness. Reggie with the victory. Let's take a look at the action as Power Pro will be on tour. Corey's already told you about Thursday night. Tonight, first of all, New Daisy Theater, 8 o'clock. Tickets will go on sale beginning at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Don't miss this one, fans. Going to be some big action, as you know if you've been watching the show here today. Then Clarksdale, Mississippi, coming up on Thursday night. That's
to give you an
July
idea of
22nd
the
in
towns that
Clarksdale.
Channel 5 broadcast to. So Clarksdale, Mississippi would be one.
Blytheville,
Arkansas.
there you can see the locations there at the auto parts. Blytheville, Arkansas is this Friday night, 8 o'clock bell time. Blytheville, Arkansas Friday. Clarksdale, Mississippi Thursday. When Power Pro comes to see you, be down there and catch all of it. And hey, next Saturday over at TJ Mulligan's, get Power Pro.
Special time, 3 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. A special event at TJ Mulligan's. Power Pro will be a part of it. And then next Saturday night, Martin, Tennessee at the high school. 8 o'clock will be wrestling time. The Young Guns champion, Vic Grimes, one of the folks who will be there. Dangerous Doug Gilbert, also scheduled on that card in Martin, Tennessee. And
Martin High School.
The action coming up on in Paragould, Arkansas. Yeah, Saturday, July 31st. In Northeast Arkansas. Make your plans to be right there.
It all kicks off tonight. 2 days on bill, 8 o'clock spell time. $5 for balcony seats, $8 and $10 ringside. Very reasonable prices. Big matches include those two crazy matches.
You got it. We've got more to come here. It's not over yet. Stay with us. We got a lot of action still to go.
I was there, I think, last Friday. Man, again, I'm kind of in shock with this show and very happy with it. I'm very happy with this program.
1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee.
It's a very good show. Much better than even appeared on
a lot better than it appeared on paper.
Yep. Come on down. Join us. Tickets are free. Just write for them and send a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Why do you think I came up with the Class with Randy Hill's segment? I came up with that idea after typing the preview.
Mick Tierney, the big guy out of Northern Ireland, he's joined that group, so they're even more powerful.
But we didn't need it, even though it was good.
J.R. Smooth said finally someone recognizes the value and the ability of Mick Tierney, the Irish assassin. Well, we'll see as the action goes here today. We got a 6-man tag team match, and I'm not sure how successful we're going to be on the other side of the ring, because you got Doug Gilbert, Wolfie D, and Tommy Rich. Well, Kevin Christian may have thrown a whole monkey wrench into that already.
No doubt about it.
Got everything stirred up.
And that's our 6-man tag team bout. It's our main event today on the Power Hour. And we will get this one underway here momentarily. We'll ring the bell and get our 6-man. Here comes the Power Pro heavyweight champion, J.R. Smooth, and all of his members of BSK. He's got with him, and they got the dirty white girl there.
Yeah, they still do. Tony Anthony, I thought when he went out of here with that axe handle would have that situation settled by now, but apparently not. Here comes...
We're not...
Come on, we got a match here, JR. Time for all of that.
Yeah, we don't need that stuff. Hey, come on, don't substitute all of that to her.
Black Chief Bobby Dahl over here. Let's just turn her loose. In the ring, action gets going quick. Wildfire, Tommy Rich, Wolfie D, Dangerous Doug Gilbert against Mick Tierney, Glenn Kulka, and J.R. Smooth.
Well, we got a ring full of them, Dave. It's 6-man tag team matches, our main event today on the Power Hour. 10 big matches tonight at the New Daisy on Bill. 8 o'clock is the bell time. Gonna be some big action down there tonight, including those 2 matches that the matchmaker Kevin Christian.
Oh, look down here at the table.
Here comes Dirty White Boy. He's got the Dirty White girl. She takes off. He hits the ring.
He goes after J.R. Smooth, and I can understand why.
Just what the doctor ordered here, Dave. Look out. Tony Anthony. Big back drop takes Smooth down.
Look out.
Right into our set here. All over the studio. Man, oh man.
Oh, my goodness. Tony Anthony's got J.R. Smooth up here on the announcing desk.
Smooth and Dirty White Boy going at it. Dirty White Girl has already took off. She's out of here.
Meanwhile, in the ring, who brought the trash can in? Somebody went out and brought a trash can in. Referee is like, they got Randy in there.
Oh, look out. Coca's
got Randy Hales. Doug Gilbert stops him.
Doug Gilbert nailed Randy.
Look on top of our set. Right on top of our set here. J.R. Smooth and Dirty White Boy both. Oh, man. He slams him right on top of our set at ringside. This whole thing is just totally out
That
of
was
hand.
one solid desk. That desk took I don't know how many beatings and never
Randy
broke.
is saying we need to take a break. Let's do that and see if we can get these guys out of here. As Tony Anthony, oh my goodness. Let's break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Chaos all the way on Power Pro Wrestling. Remind everybody, this was from show number 66, June the 17th, 1999, Power Pro Wrestling, and I believe we're back on the air.
All of that. Where is Tommy? I noticed Wolfie. Oh, Tommy's across the ring. Okay, you have something to say?
Yeah, I got something to say. I'm going to have 2 matches tonight, Kid Wicked. I done told you what's going to happen to you. Now I'm going to look across this ring over there, and I see the biggest sissy I've ever seen in my life. Tommy, me and you go way, way back. Me and you used to be the best of friends. We used to stay up all night together and party till the sun came up.
All right, tonight at the New Daisy is when you can settle it. We're
about out of time, Wolfie.
We got to stop
time,
this.
guys.
We got to stop this right now. It's
Listen, Randy Hales, you see this? I'm going to force feed you tonight. You come out here and hit me in the head.
all at the New Daisy Theater coming up tonight at 8 o'clock. Make your plans to be there. Corey and I'll see you next week. Until then, for Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
We've talked all about our thoughts for this show, and I think overwhelmingly everybody loved it. Here's Adam Dunn to tell you what we're going to see next Monday night on the Power Hour. This will be show number 67. What do we got lined up, Adam?
Oh, yeah. So coming up next week, like Randy just said, it'll be show number 67, July 24th, 1999. We'll see a live interview with Bruce Pritchard live in the studio next week. Our main event set up with J.R. Smooth. We'll see Wolf and Steve Bradley. We'll have Glenn Kolka and Mick Tierney going against Slick Robbie D and Kid Wicked. We'll see Kid Wicked and Wolfie D. And we'll have a hardcore title, or a hardcore match, rather, Vicious Vic Grimes against Doug Gilbert. So imagine that coming up. And then J.R. Smooth will defend his title next week against Kurt Angle. Doesn't sound like an opening match to me. Sounds like a good main event coming up next week, Randy.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. Well, before I go into the plugs, we'll get the final thoughts of Adam Dunn, and then I'll wrap it up and say bye. Adam?
Yeah, so, I mean, on paper, and, you know, Randy, by design, we don't ever preview the shows. And even though you've got copies of formats and I've got copies of formats and everything like that, we really like to watch these shows and make it an actual watch along with you. So we've got just old notes and old match listings from, you know, when these things aired. And we'll take a look at that just so we can set up a preview and kind of know what we're looking at. But it's always fun to watch these shows with a fresh set of eyes. Some of these shows, certain ones, I could almost recite word for word what's going to happen because I've got tapes of them myself or I've watched them in the past. And then other ones like this one, I probably hadn't seen this show because, you know, it's not on YouTube and I don't have a copy of it. So to watch them all again and to relive them again all over with Randy is just such a treat for me because it's almost, I kind of compare this to almost like when you have like a, you know, one of those DVDs where you've got like a director's cut or something and you can kind of get the inside view of what's going on. So, and then this show is just always special when it's a show that's action-packed like this. I know we started the show late because of our RH segment that we had earlier, but this show felt like it was an hour-and-a-half long show with just how much action was packed into each segment. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I look forward to doing this with you every week.
All right. We're going to do it again. You'll be back with us, as will our panel. We know I've got a yes from all three of my panel members, Pat Trammell, Michael St. John, Chris Ellis. We have part 2 of our Dark Side of Wrestling segment. We had to rush it last week. We will continue that. We have a rant. We have all kinds of stuff. That's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on Talking Memphis Wrestling. Then on Wednesday, wanted to let everybody know because I will be having cataract surgery. I will not be on theticket.com. They will have great sports talk, though, from 7 Central to 10 Central in the morning with Bud Chappelle on Wednesday morning with Randy Myers. I will not be there for the Power Hour. Greg Wayne with his great Wednesday show, Wayne's World, with host Greg Wayne every Wednesday on Facebook and also his YouTube channel. Next Monday night, it will be this show, the Power Hour. It'll be show number 67 from July the 24th. I appreciate Adam Dunn for making us look pretty, for getting all the stuff on the air, and I appreciate the best audience there is. I'll tell you tomorrow when we open the show why I do these programs, what I think about these programs, and how I take it serious, and how I feel there's people out there. I guess imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. There's people out there that's imitating what we do. Absolutely. And I will talk about that. I will talk about podcasting. I will talk about a lot of stuff. Adam will be here producing. And until then, folks, come back and see us tomorrow night. Until then, it's Radios and Adam Dunn saying bye-bye, everybody. So
Power Pro Wrestling. Power Pro Wrestling.